Pugh, that'll do it! That will do it! Pugh for Bournemouth! The roof of the Gold Sands is raised! Everyone here knows what that could mean to this football.
Hello Bournemouth fans, it was AFC Bournemouth 2, Preston North End 3 tonight at Dean Court. Before the game, Preston had the second best away record in the league and Bournemouth had the second best home record in the league. It was always going to be closer than their previous scoreline against Watford. That was a 4-1 because it was a team that was smarting from a battering at Vicarage Road versus a Bournemouth side that should have perhaps felt a little bit fortunate to come away with a draw at the New York Stadium. So, mentality and technical prowess, that's going to be the difference between sides in this unprecedented season. And today, Preston came almost brimming with confidence and anger. Today, Cherries strolled onto the pitch expecting to win. The last time we lost to Preston, well, that was 3-2 at home, albeit in the Cup. And tonight, well, we did it again. Really terrible performance by the Cherries. And if you want to get involved tonight, you can do. We've got space in the room right now. So if you want to get involved, the link is at the bottom of the screen. Just go to afcbpodcast.com/take part. Not the greatest performance. And we're going to be popping your live chats on the screen throughout the show. Whether you're annoyed, frustrated, angry, whatever, just let us know. If you're wanting this to be a happy clapping sort of video, probably best switch off now because there will be some opinion tonight, I'm sure, about what went on. I don't think you can blame 4 at the back or 3 at the back and all these different formations because formations aside, we were poor. And it was the AFCB Academy in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes that actually showed us how to do things. Yes, Junior Stanislas got us back into it with that free kick. But after that, well, we managed to make it 3-2, but Preston deserved the win. They were dogged, they were determined, and they were clinical when it counted. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop the StreamYard link into the live chat. And if you want to get involved, all you need to do, just grab a pair of headphones and go to that link. You can also just go to afcbpodcast.com/take part. Some of the messages that are on screen, we're going to go through them now. Unfortunately, sloppy performance has cost us again. Too little, too late. Chris Hubble says, very poor game for the Cherries, and goes on to say Bournemouth did not play well today. Paul, oh dear. Yeah, know your pain, mate. Paul Mel, hope we give our younger players more chances. They have the desire. And you've got to say, Jaden Anthony, really good performance for that last 15. Hopefully putting some questions in Jason Tyndall's head on that left side there, judging by the fact that we seem to be almost throwing that position week in, week out. Kelly has a bad game. Rico has a bad game. Who do you put there? Really difficult to know, albeit, of course, he plays further up the pitch. But that was where our problems were on the left side today. And we're going to go through the positions. And, well, I'm sure Tom and his player ratings video, when it comes out tomorrow, will be equally scathing. We don't quite know. Foster 12 Trees, a team just expecting an individual to do something. P&E, far more organised. Junior in central midfield and Brooks down the wing again. Do me a favour. I hope we don't go up because it's going to be very embarrassing. Wacky Williams, well then, what a depressing match. Nearly had my hopes for a point, but no, just depression. And I wonder what player you will scapegoat today. Well, I think it was the team in general. I don't think any individual maybe deserves too much flack, but what we'll do firstly is we'll bring in Billy Day and we'll get his opinion. It's been all smiles for most of the season so far for Billy, but I dread to see his face today. He's got a wry smile there. Billy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I don't think it was that great, if I'm honest. I mean, I got it felt like you remember the Spurs game away last year. It felt a little bit like that. We went 3 goals down, and we thought maybe there's a glimmer of hope at the end of it, but there wasn't to be. And yeah, I'm really not looking forward to Barnsley. I think I've lost hope for it. I don't think if we even get a point at Barnsley, I'll be happy.
Yeah. We've got a few other comments that we're going to show on screen. Wacky Williams saying Sam Surridge deserves more game time. Paul Horry says defensively we were poor again. The fullbacks, in my opinion, were both terrible. Ray says Watford hammer Preston on Saturday. Brentford comfortably beat Rotherham away tonight. It's funny because we look back at matches earlier in the season, Billy, like our point against Middlesbrough, and we're looking at some of their results now thinking, God, they're really good points, but we can also do that the other way round as well, can't we? Because there are some matches where we failed to win and other teams have absolutely smashed them. And tonight, they beat us convincingly tonight, yet Watford beat them convincingly. It's an unpredictable league. We all knew the Championship was amazing because of this, but it's not amazing when you compare the values of the two squads. It's actually scary. We weren't mentally up for it tonight. Where did it go wrong, Billy?
Well, I think for a start, exactly that is it. I think having Rolo and that Riquelme in that left wing position should have had Stanislas there instead. I feel like possibly had Oferball maybe in the middle or so. I know he's more of a defensive, but have him in the middle instead because I think he's a quality player. But it's just it's that same thing every whole season. We've said first half we just don't perform well, and it just goes to show. So I don't want to blame Jason tonight because I thought he put out an okay team. It's just that maybe Riquelme had that little bit of pressure on him of his first start, so not too bad.
Well, arguably, it's one of our strongest sides, minus Danjuma, really, isn't it? Maybe you could argue Kelly for Rico, for instance, but we'll see what others have got to say. Morgan is standing by. We've got John here as well, John Amos, and also John Spark as well. So I'll bring in John Spark first. Second time I'm back in the net. How are you, John?
I was feeling a lot better about 2.5 hours ago. Let's put it that way. It's kind of difficult to sort of really come out of that with any positive feelings, apart from obviously really pleased for Anthony to get an assist on his 21st. That was a hell of a debut to come and actually sort of really add something, which we didn't have very much on that left wing. I'm just worried that we didn't play. This performance has been coming. This scoreline has been coming because we haven't really performed brilliantly for a few games now. And I was looking across Twitter over the game, and there's one or two people saying we haven't really put in a 90 all season, which is arguably true. We haven't put much better than a 60 in any game. The reason I don't think we got much out of this one was similar reasons why we haven't got a lot out of a lot of games. Is that you've got Junior Stanislas coming from the left, looking to come inside. You've got Roro coming on the left, coming inside. You've got Brooks on the right coming inside, and you've got Smith and Rico offering basically nothing on the wings. So we keep cramming the middle, keep playing in front of their defence. No one's running beyond. And the only time one or two players did, no one was willing to try and play the pass. It's just we just kept playing in front of them constantly, and you can't really look at the last half an hour as anything other than a freak event that always happens when the team's 3-0 down, when they throw everything forward. You know, it's all well and good saying, why can't we play that more often? Well, when a team's 3-0 up, they just defend for the whole game. So,
yeah, well, their first goal was like the Bournemouth of old because, we had a free kick and that went into the wall, and then Preston broke, and it was a really good direct counter-attack down the left. I think it was Daniel Johnson who sent a quick ball in, and it was a fantastic finish, probably an underrated finish at the far post, given how fast the ball was going from Barkhazen. But it was a goal from the Bournemouth archives. And, do you notice when they attacked, they didn't stop and cut back and then try to come inside? We always do that. And by that time, even if it's only 2 or 3 seconds, it gives them a chance to reset and get their men behind the ball. And they worked so hard tonight, Preston side. And I've got to say, credit goes out to them because they were absolutely superb. Haven't seen anything of their performance against Watford, but, it obviously was drastically improved. Really tough to work out. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in John Amos now as well, who's going to have his thoughts on it. John, how are you, sir?
Yeah, a bit depressed, to be honest. I was looking at our results, actually, and I had a feeling it's going to be one of those seasons where we just don't beat any northern teams. And apart from Blackburn on the opening day, we haven't beaten any Northern teams at all. I mean, as a Midlander myself, I know that a lot of people in Bournemouth count the Midlands as part of the North, but to be honest, we're doing quite well against the Midland teams. And the Southern teams, aren't we? Reading and Bristol City and the like. So it worries me that we've now got Barnsley coming up as well on Friday, I think it is. And now we're not going to have Lerma. But yeah, to be honest, I had the first half on in the background. It was getting quite depressing as I was eating my tea. So I didn't watch too much of the first half. But for the second half, when we went 3-0 down, I thought, gosh, this is going to require a hell of a comeback to get fairly close. I mean, there's not many positives from that performance, but I think Jaden Anthony proving that great goal he got against West Ham in the FA Cup final pre-season, or Betfair Cup or whatever it was called. Yeah. I thought then, why isn't he featuring a bit more early season? But he's come in again and done quite well, attacking down that left-hand side. So that's one positive. Jaden Anthony getting blooded, doing quite well. Surridge getting a goal. It's pleasing, obviously, because he was unlucky in having that one disallowed at the end of the Premier League era. But yeah, I don't know. There's going to be. It's an interesting one, isn't it? If does he make further changes for the next game against Barnsley, putting Namdi or somebody in the midfield, as I think Billy said. I agree. I think I saw Namdi play for the under-21s a while back, and he was our centre back in that game and played really well. So him coming into midfield might be an option. But yeah, I don't know. I think this alternating with Rico and Kelly doesn't seem to be really leading to much in the way of consistency. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. But at least we didn't lose 3-0. At 3-0, I thought that's it. So our goal difference is only -1. That's one of the few plus points as well. But at least we made it a bit of a typical Bournemouth finish. Exciting last 5 minutes.
Yeah, John, you look like you're about to say something there.
I was just thinking maybe the solution at left back is put whoever we want on at the start, take him off after a minute, and put the other person on. Because at the moment, whoever comes on is the one that looks like he's going to do something. Like, admittedly, Kelly didn't have much to do in this game, but he certainly looked like he was going to produce something which Rico didn't. And then last time, Kelly didn't do much. Rico comes on and provides the assist. Game before that was the other way around. I mean, like I said, I just would like to see much better end product in the final third. We can get up to the third pretty easily. I don't think the press was all that effective against us. We struggled at times to get past the midfield line, but we generally got into their final third fine. And they just said, right, now try and get past two lines of defence, and we just didn't do it. And I think, like I said, not enough movement. It was worrying actually. Within about 10 minutes, some of the play that Preston was doing, passing it around effortlessly, and our defence looked at 6s and 7s at times. Their movement in the box. I really thought they were just going to pass us to death at one point, and then, funnily enough, 2 goals from 2 counter attacks. And I mean, when was the last time we conceded from a counter like that? Admittedly, the second goal. Wow, I mean, I'm sure someone somewhere is going to blame Begovic for that, but you can't legislate for how good that finish was. That was incredible from Sinclair.
Sinclair's made the step up from Celtic quite well, hasn't he, really? It is a big jump up to the Championship. But I didn't realise he was there. He must be the one keeping Stockley out of the team. I thought if Stockley played, he was bound to score against us, wasn't he? And when they were 3-0 up, I thought they'll bring him on and he'll get the 4th probably. But
not a good showing. What we're going to do is rotate it. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you coming in today. So yeah, cheers, John, and also Billy Day. Thank you so much for coming in. Now we're going to get a very happy Lilywhite, I'm sure, with, by the way, of Jack Goodwin, who was on our preview show. And it's a bit of a reunion because Craig's going to come in as well. And what I'm also going to do is bring in Morgan Scott as well for this. So, Jack, you must be buzzing.
I'm bouncing. I feel like dancing around the house tonight. I mean, I just wish we were able to go to the stadium, but No, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm going to try and not rub it in too much.
No, you know what I've had my monologue already, and really impressed by Preston tonight. What the hell was the difference between your performance against Watford and against us tonight? Because you looked a quality side.
I just think it's the first goal, and I know it's something that everyone always says, and it gets a bit old at times. But I think if you get the first goal in a game, and against someone of Bournemouth or Watford's quality, if you got the first goal tonight, I don't think if we saw you go 3-0 up, we wouldn't have brought it back to 3-2. Your quality showed throughout the last 10-20 minutes, I thought. But I just thought we were just in your faces for the whole game, and we hit you on the counter attack. And I thought the manager perfected the game plan perfectly. I thought we were brilliant.
So Craig Beasley, as I said, is standing by waiting to come on. And Craig, disappointing tonight?
To be honest, I think we've been beaten by the better side. Preston by far are the best team that we've played so far this season. And I'll say that. I was speaking to another guy called Gordon on there, and you do know Preston signed Johnson for only 50 grand from Aston Villa.
And, ridiculous delivery. And I noticed that throughout the game, he was constantly switching from the left flank to the right flank. But you know what? That ball in was superb. And, the actual, the person who scored the goal, that first goal from Barkhuizen, it looked easy, but it wasn't actually that easy. I mean, I know it's just a side-footed shot, but I was really impressed by that clean, crisp, balls into the box, and it's something that we've been lacking. Really good delivery, and yeah, you got to say I probably agree that they are one of the best sides to have come to Dean Court. Now, what we'll do is we'll pop the messages on the screen throughout the game, but Bournemouth, I think, also were the architects of our own demise, Craig, a little bit, because I thought that we were overpassing. I thought, like I said earlier, when we counted, we cut back in, and by that time, Preston got a chance to reset, and their work rate was obviously so hard. And Alex Neil made them work, and we just had these banks of players to break through. We were constantly playing in front of them, and even the passing from out the back to out wide, play it in front of them to maintain some kind of flow. But we were playing just like a metre behind them, and by that time, it's only split seconds, but it just will give the midfielders and the defenders a chance to get back. And I found that Preston players were picking up little pockets of space, and they were playing between the lines, and they were exceptional. And that was Lerma and Lewis Cook, our best midfield. Lerma's not even going to be available for the next game now, so God knows what we're going to do, Craig.
Well, I know. To be fair, I think Lerma we need really for the Swansea game. So, in a way, yeah, he's suspended for the Barnsley match. However, at the same time, the Swansea match is coming up, and there's no easy games in this league. Definitely not. But one thing that you brought up the other day, Jack, was that Preston are very, very good on the counter attack, and we saw that tonight.
We are so much better without the ball. It's unbelievable how we hit teams on the counter attack. We're so good in transition. We get the ball and we get into their faces. I'm trying to speak as much as possible, but I've just got joy running through my veins right now. But because I don't understand it. We look like Brazil when we play away from home, and then we look like Derby County of that Premier League season, or Derby County of this season when we play at home. I mean, we're abysmal at home, but we're superb away. It's baffling.
Absolutely.
Tweet at half time. How are Preston 18th? Or were 18th at the start of today? Because honestly, if you play like that home and away, Jack, I can see the big smile on your face.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
But if you play like that home and away, definite top six, without a shadow of a doubt.
It's about getting that consistency. I mean, I'm not going to speak too soon because half the fan base were saying that we'll be in League One next year about 4 hours ago, and now I'm sure everyone will think that we'll be in the Premier League now. So it's like I said, it's 15 games in, and if by March, by February, if you're in that chasing pack, you're in and around the playoffs, you've got every chance, haven't you?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring in Morgan Scott, as we said, who is standing by. So, Morgan, I'm sure you won't have liked tonight's performance, eh?
Can I say hideous tonight?
You can. I mean, the last time you said hideous was after we beat Coventry 3-1 in our best performance of the season, but I think it's probably allowed tonight, Morgan. Why do you think that?
Because fair play to Preston, no offence, but they came to play tonight, and if you could tell me that at 7:45 when the game kicked off, then I would have been a fool. But no, fair play to Preston, Jack, because I thought you were much better than AFC Bournemouth for the since until Junior came back with that free kick, and then I thought you got a bit lucky that I think Bournemouth could have come back into it if they were a bit more clinical. But yeah, you gave us a good 85 minutes, and I think what was really disappointing for Bournemouth tonight, they just weren't doing the basics again. I had the unfortunate of seeing the one camera angle, so I missed the second goal, which I'm kind of happy I did miss because it was a brilliant finish by the young man. But I think didn't work for Bournemouth tonight is they weren't gelling. Brooksy looked tired. Dom didn't seem to have many chances. It took me I was sat here and I was thinking, did we have many shots on target? I know obviously the Junior Stanislas free kick. Obviously, I didn't see many replays because of the stream I was watching on. But it just seemed a bit flat from Bournemouth again. It takes me back to the game against Sheffield Wednesday and then other performances. But again, Bournemouth found a way to come back into it.
I'll be honest, then, Morgan. Okay. I think we were so much better than we was against Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday, we were terrible against them. The thing is, Preston didn't allow us to play, our normal free-flowing game. And I do agree, Sam, we was, the architects of our own downfall with regards to going back a little bit. But, I've got to give full credit to Preston tonight. I think there's been a lot of negativity that I've seen on Twitter. But you are a very, very good team, Jack. You are a very, very good team. You can see
you're just causing him to smile all the time. You've got to stop all this. You've got to stop this.
Stop it now, don't I? But at the same time, it was, we
were crap. We were crap, Craig. You can say it. And I mean, look at that.
I don't think you were crap. I mean, I'm not just saying it to say. I thought you played all right. To be honest, I thought, especially you can see the quality every time David Brooks gets the ball. I just thought it's that I think people underappreciate sometimes how much luck plays a part in football. Like it does. Like you can score one goal and the other team can't score another goal, but that's not always down to just the quality of the finishing. Sometimes that's down to the bounce of the ball, the weight of the ball that comes in. I think you'll at least finish playoffs this season. I mean, you're second in the league, aren't you? There's no need to panic or anything.
Well, I dread to think after tomorrow, but I think other teams might be going above us. But what we're going to do, we're going to have to swap it around. But Craig, just before you go, what do you want to say?
Yeah, just before to have a change around, what do you make of Jaden Anthony, Jack? Because that's his debut. And I thought that he actually could have been a little bit of a weak head towards the end. When did he come on? About the 81st, 82nd minute? Was it?
Somewhere around then, yeah. I thought it was brilliant when he came on. I mean, was it the second goal where he took it past Alan Brown and crossed it in? I think it was the second goal, weren't it? Yeah, he looked like a really good talent. I mean, he was in, was it National League South? Was he with Mark Molesley last year and with Weymouth? I think he was, weren't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Your football.
It's Football Manager. It's Football Manager that it comes from. But no, I think he. So he looks like a good talent. How old is he? About 20, 21?
He turned 21 today.
Oh, did he? All right, what a way to celebrate with an assist. I mean, he'll be disappointed, but no, he did look good. And I'm not too sure. Have you had good success with your academy over the years? Have you brought up many youngsters?
There's
really.
nobody off the
More
ball.
than us.
Demora and of course Anthony, who can win tonight. So
He looks
those.
like a good talent.
Well, what we do at this point, we are going to swap it around. So people waiting. Jack, thank you so much for coming on. You've been very gracious tonight. So yeah, fair play to you. Good luck for the rest of the season, mate. And thank you for coming on previously as well. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. And also Craig Beasley, thank you very much.
Cheers, Sam. Take care, mate.
Will do. Morgan, that was the loudest slurp I think I've ever heard.
Yeah,
on Back of the
apologies.
Net. It's been a night of firsts. Right, we're going to bring in Josh and Kirk. So Kirk's standing by. Oh my goodness, he's not looking happy. I'm sure he's going to be going on his monologue shortly. But Josh is here as well. Josh, welcome to Back of the Net. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I would have been better with 3 points, but
Yeah,
we move on to Friday.
yeah, we do. Hopefully, it'll be a better showing. What did you make of tonight?
I think it's hard to know where to start, really. I don't think until probably the last sort of 10 minutes we were in the game at all. I mean, you talk about Junior's free kick. Okay, that's one moment of magic, but that was lacking for 75 minutes. I think Preston played fantastically well, scored at the perfect time, their first goal, broke fantastically well. Scott Sinclair's goal was well, brilliant. I think you have to really. I think we really struggle when you look at somebody like Steve Kirk, who's always an absolute rock. You know, a stalwart for us at the back, and when he's having a poor game like I think he did tonight, I think he really struggled up against. Is it Shaw? I think it's Sean Maguire up top, who's probably only about my height. I mean, he's a midget really, in professional footballing terms. I think he really struggled, and I think that set the tone for the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think you're right there. With regards to Sinclair's goal, I mean, it was a cracking finish. But when I replayed it, the amount of space between Chris Mepham and Lewis Cook, I mean, there was huge gaps. He just ran into it, collected the ball after it looked like Steve Cook was going to win the header. He didn't. It went over his head, but that finish was sublime. I mean, Asmir Begovic, was he in the right position? Was he not? I don't know, but you've got to give him credit for the finish. But it's all of the other, little things, even not the goals themselves. I just thought that we were pretty sloppy in possession, not that great out of it as well. Before you start, Kirk, Richard Neal asks if you could just give a little smile before you begin. Let's see it. Let's see it. That's about the best he could do. Go for it.
Well, let's start this properly. Give credit to Preston. They could have watched Rotherham on Saturday, adopted a similar style of football and come at us that way. They didn't do that. They brought their away form and game plan. They protected the ball when they had it. They didn't let us link more than 2 passes in the first half together. And they executed their counter-attack ruthlessly. So credit to them. We don't give up. That's a good sign. I'm trying to take positives here. We don't give up. How many times have we seen in the second half where we start get going after 60 minutes? Jaden Anthony assist on his birthday, and Sam Sarge gets a goal. That's the positives. How many games have we actually started from the first minute, dominated football matches, gone in at half time, and managed the game in the second half comfortably in a month where fixtures are coming at us thick and fast? Once, twice.
Yeah, the fast start. I don't think it was a particularly fast start, but we scored early against Forest and we managed that game pretty well. I don't think we were exceptional, but we managed it. That's the only one. Obviously, in Coventry, that second half, that was good, but not for 90 minutes.
I mean, I could dissect this for Sam for an hour, and I'm not even joking. You tell me what you want to know, and I'll unload, because I literally don't know where to begin.
Well, let's go back to the first goal.
First goal, I don't know what's worse. The free kick where I've got 2 players standing over the ball and we can't miss out the first man, or the second part where it actually counter-attacks where they win it from the first man in the wall. They counter-attack on us. I think we end up with 7 players in the box. Every single pair of eyes is fixated on the ball. None of them look at the 2 players at a back post unmarked, and we concede the goal. So is it us giving away a poor free kick or us trying to defend the counter-attack? Ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Okay, let's wind back even before that. Should have we had a penalty?
Oh, it's one of those, isn't it? If it goes for you, you're happy. If it goes against you, you're saying it's soft. It's the whole VAR thing again, isn't it? We've seen free kicks being given where we're all going, come on. You've got to man up and take those challenges, whether you nick them or you don't nick them. If you hit the foot, touch the leg, I'll take it. But I wouldn't want it given against me. I think we're clutching at straws if we're wanting to take the lead against Preston through that.
And okay, let's talk about Rolo then, Kirk, because a lot of Bournemouth fans were pinning their hopes on him, but he's always been a player that will be relatively lightweight, and this is going to be a steep learning curve for him playing in the Championship against, there are some pretty tiki-taka football sides, but then there are some brute force sides like Rotherham, who did deploy their tactic pretty well, and that's maybe discrediting Rotherham because they were very good at what they did and they can be a good side, but they did what they had to against us, and I'm glad that Jason Tyndall didn't blood Rolo against them because he would have got badly injured the way they would go into challenges. But today, against a footballing side in Preston, maybe this was his opportunity, but wasn't the best performance, you could say.
So we needed to see Rolo. It was important that we saw him start a football match. We need to know what we've got here as a footballer, potentially on loan, and if we sign him permanently. I know that Rolo's got a lot of stick, and it's going to be a hard thing for him to take. This is a early door career for him, and he's been whipped off at half time. That's a learning curve. For me, though, it's quite simple that we played a 4-2-3-1, and when we've played that formation with Danjuma, Stanislavs and Brooks, they've always had good connectivity. What I mean by that is if Stanislavs moves over to the left, Danjuma moves inside. If Brooks moves over from the right, and they're interlinking, it's difficult to defend because a left back can't constantly mark Brooks. He's then marking Stanislavs, and they're moving. What I felt was with Rolo as he hugged that touchline the whole of the first half, he almost played it as a normal left winger in a 4-4-2. But we weren't set up as a 4-4-2. At one point, we had Stanislavs, Brooks and Rolo all over on the left-hand side. He never came off of that left-hand side at any time. So I think the way we're playing this formation where we've had Danjuma in it, we've not been fixed in those positions.
Yeah.
Rolo did stay in that position, and I think that didn't help him. And actually, funny enough, when we brought him off, we went to a 4-4-2, which I think would have benefited him because he played like a 4-4-2 winger. So, we can say that he did okay on the ball at times. He is lightweight. We know that. We saw that from the little substitute appearances he's had already. I'm not going to dig him out completely yet. I think there's other players I'd quite comfortably dig out tonight, but it is a learning curve for him.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to just swap it. Josh, there's a question here from Ethan. If you had to pick a man of the match tonight, I know it's difficult, but who would you pick?
Can I pick a Preston player?
Yeah, to be fair, you can. But if you had to pick a ball.
You're clutching at straws, but you'd probably. The lads that started, you can't give it to any of them. I don't think. I think just for his birthday, and I think he came on, had a good impact, and even on another day, the one which he spoons over the bar, if he keeps his head down over that one, he might level it up for us and pull us out of a hole. So Jaden Anthony, I think, just a very positive impact. Like to see him a little bit more.
Yeah, fair play, Josh. Thank you so much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
Cheers, buddy. Much appreciated. And Morgan, before you go, what does JT's team talk need to consist of before the Barnsley game? Because there's work to do.
Well, they need to kick up the backside, to be honest with you. They really need I don't know what they need, but they need to be told that it was atrocious and you don't win a football match in the last 5 minutes. You win it in 90. Very, very frustrating to watch another hideous performance, and that's allowed tonight because it was hideous until the 85th minute. One thing I would like to say before I leave is Josh Kin. So he's had everything this season. He didn't get his move. He's had a migraine. He's had COVID. He's back from COVID. He reported to the training ground last Saturday morning. Okay, I'm not surprised after not being able to train and being in isolation, he didn't play last weekend. Not even in the 18 tonight. It's starting to be a little bit like Ryan Fraser. I read a tweet from I think it was Dan on Twitter earlier today, would have sold him and got £13 million for him. Would have taken that because he just got this attitude and it stinks. He doesn't want to be a Bournemouth player. He's having a bit of a sulk, and for whatever reason, the club are treating it a bit like the Ryan Fraser situation, and it's not great.
He's not the answer, though.
No, I know, and to be honest with you, I think we got better players. I don't think he deserves a place in the team after what we've seen of him so far this season, regardless. But the fact that he's not even making the 18, that kind of shows that he doesn't want to even be included. I'm not sure, but it's a bit difficult to kind of see why. If he wanted to play, he would be on the pitch or he would be at least on the bench. But the fact that he's not included in the matchday squads, I know he's had COVID and a migraine. But now what's the excuse?
Yeah, very true, Morgan. Thank you very much, as ever. Appreciate it, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Cool, nice one. And we're going to bring in Rich, who's standing by, and Steve will be with us as well, Steve Hensman, too. Rich, dissect that for us. Wow.
Can you hear me tonight, firstly?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Happy days. Yeah, another one of those depressing games that I'd love to have. We were slow off the start. Couldn't even put a ball together for quite a lot of it. We got bullied off the ball quite a lot, to be fair. We weren't fast enough. Billing came on. I'm not going to pick on Billing because everyone else does that anyway. But, good and bad moments. But, yeah, we just quite simply weren't good enough today and we didn't want it enough. Wasn't enough.
It's difficult.
There.
Sometimes it's difficult to sum up, isn't it? Steve Hensman might be able to do us a favour in terms of working this one out with his classic Wembley shirt from the 1998 season. A thing of beauty there, Steve, just like your beautiful face, got to say. How are you?
Is he waiting for someone to come and sit next to him, by the way?
Come on, Kirk. Come on.
It was me. I'm just not allowed round anymore.
Let's put you down there. Go on. You can have a virtual hug if you want. So, talk to us about it, Steve. 3-2 against Preston. I mean, I'm sure, like many, you got to praise Preston first because they were decent with the ball and also without it tonight.
Yeah, I think you do. Very much so. They were more up for it than we were from the minute go, and I just found it another case of us trying to sit back and think we're going to cruise a game. Just pass the ball around, not really too much effect. Just thinking that after a while a chance will come and we'll create something. They never did because they were up in our faces. They were, and they did play some good football. There was like points earlier. I think somebody was saying it might have been John. It was a point in that first half where they absolutely played us off the park, passing wise. Kept the ball so long. I thought, and then I am a little bit lost for words actually. I don't really know where to go with it.
Can I roll back? Sorry,
Sam.
Yeah, go on, Can I roll back a few weeks when I said what happens when we got no Danjuma, when our flair players' techniques are dribbling through, nutmegging players is not coming off. Solanke can't score 2 games in a row. What happens when that doesn't work? This is where we're at. We get to 3-0 down. And to be fair, Stanislas scores a good free kick, but it's one of those, isn't it? It goes in or it ends up in Rosette. It's not one of those where you're knocking on the door and you're creating chances, because that's not what was happening. But I keep raising the same question.
But we didn't deserve that goal, did we?
We are never going to sort of ground out 1-0 or 2-0 results. We're only going to win football matches glamorously when our flair players are on it. And that's what I am seeing.
But why is that, Kirk?
Because we don't have a striker in our team. And okay, we conceded 3 poor goals tonight, so tonight's probably not a true reflection. But when we are solid at the back and our flair players are not on it, and we haven't got Danjuma, we haven't got a striker that's just going to knee one, shoulder one, bundle one in. I mean, how many players in our team chase down rebounds when someone shoots from outside the box? Because I don't see any. How many players load the box when Rico's putting in a poor delivery? No one. And for me, we don't. I mean, Solanke's done it a little bit better in the last few weeks. He is looking to get in that box, but he again tonight he was in areas that is not natural to him, or he's in areas that are natural to him, and he's not getting in the areas that are not natural to him. And this is what I was saying weeks ago. We're going to come up against this problem when they're not smiling and when the little tricks are not coming off, and that's how I felt for weeks now.
It's interesting, Steve. You said that we need to get in their faces, and there was a clip I saw. I'm going to bring some light relief to the show for about 45.
please do.
So just to put a smile on our face. But it's funny. We need to get in our their faces, almost like a sort of Joey Barton character. But this is a clip it's an old clip, but maybe we needed this kind of player today. This is from ESPN.
Philip, we were talking off camera earlier about exactly that situation. You said it's Gervinho just showing a little bit of lack of experience in getting sent off there. But sometimes it's the case, that foreign players who play nice football are put aside as naive or maybe not experienced enough. Whereas if a British player does it well, then they're going in hard and they're a dirty player.
No, I think with Joey Barton, you know what to expect. He's going to come strong in the tackle and he's going to come in your face, and you have to be ready before the match. All right.
I'm not sure he'd go that far, but I guess with anything's possible, huh?
So is that the kind of player we needed today, lads? I don't know, Steve. Oh my goodness! But I felt as though we needed a smile, but we needed that grit and aggression in the middle of the park. We didn't have it today, did we, Steve?
No, I was very disappointed with Lewis and Jeff, for that matter. Yeah, I didn't really that pair. We were crying out for that last game, and then tonight it was there, and we were happy, but. Nothing. They didn't produce much. I didn't see Lewis getting the ball and turning and driving past three players. Don't know whether Jeff was playing. I know there was a case before where we all thought he was protecting himself a bit from getting that yellow card. Well, it didn't work out. He obviously got it in the end, but it almost seemed like he was withdrawn a bit from the game. He didn't really seem his usual self.
And he must be knackered. He must be knackered.
He must. Well, they must. Yeah, he must be. But I didn't think. I thought there was 6 or 7 players who just didn't. I didn't think showed much tonight. It wasn't just him. It was all over.
I really.
Have you got it with you,
Nick? Oh no!
Let's see it.
Where have you gone?
He's just working out his angles at the moment. He's got an AFC.
No, I'm not. I turned you off.
Oh, there you go. Here we go. Let's full screen you. Beautiful. AFC Bournemouth. Look at that. Supporters, Sydney. Oh, what a scarf that is. And if you follow them on Twitter, you can get your own as well. I've been seeing them tweet now. What we'll do is we'll pop a link in the YouTube description as well, so you can wear that scarf like Steve. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Where was I? Can I get Kirk saying about the scoring of goals and we've got no one up there? But also, I don't think we've had. I mean, how many clean sheets have we had this season? I mean, that's
Forest.
Technically Forest, yeah, and Norwich, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's what you would say it was a Premier League, back 5 or however many we play, and we're struggling to keep clean sheets in this league.
I mean,
with 2 defensive, with 2 players protecting them as well.
I mean, I might get pelters here, but while you're talking about the defence, I'm really struggling to watch Smith. He's just frustrating. Yeah. He's frustrating the hell out of me. He does not overlap a quarter of what he used to, and when he did it in the second half in a 4-4-2. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he either passes it inside and just admires his 10-yard pass and doesn't do anything, or he was running in a diagonal line towards the centre-back when there's glaring space down the right-hand side. I literally don't... I mean, I thought I'll give him the benefit of the doubt tonight, and I thought I'd play him again tonight. After that performance, and I know we've got an issue with Lerma, but I'd have Namdi at right-back. I know he's not a right-back, but he'll do a job.
We were having this conversation earlier.
Smith is really...
Would you try him there?
I put him right back. Smith needs to come out. I don't know what it is.
Would you give Zamora a go at left back? Because neither Rico or Kelly seem to be able to nail it down.
The thing is with Rico, he's been getting pelters tonight again, hasn't he? The thing is with Rico is he had a poor game.
He was awful.
Away.
That's why.
But you know what, though? He's the only one in that back four that actually wants to try and achieve something with pace with the ball. I know he gave the ball away a lot tonight, but he's trying to feed that ball up to the top with pace, trying to make us progressive. It's just not coming off for him, and his crossing was poor again. I know he got the assist the other day, but his crossing was poor. But the only thing I give to Rico is the benefit of the doubt that he is every time he gets the ball, he wants to look forward. Kelly wants to look backwards. So we've got two left backs that are completely opposite.
But I would say Rico's better at much. He's made, to me, he seems made to be a wing back rather than a full back. He wants to be able to get down and progress and get whip balls in. Whereas I don't think his defending is very good at all. But people disagree with me on that one. But I just don't think he doesn't think that way for me. He lets his runners go. He doesn't cover space. Frustrate him.
So, Rich?
I was going to say, on the 2 times he did get a cross in, there was no one there in the box. There's no one. Looked like they're,
We're not loading the box, so we should have Stanislas loading the box. Lerma should be trying to get in there as well. Brooks should be coming in from the other side if the ball's being whipped in from the left. But we whip it in and we got Solanke just entering the box. And that's just not good enough.
What do you think of Brooks tonight? On the whole?
It's one of those, isn't it? I think
he was trying so hard. Just nothing was coming off for him.
That's just Brooks, isn't it?
My fear is that people are now literally, all the managers are saying, right, this is what the game plan is. We need to muscle Brooksy out of the game for starters. If we do that, then that'll affect the rest of the team. I think they might, hopefully not, but they're just starting to work out the way that, we play being the centre man. They're just taking him out.
I didn't think they did that, though. I felt like he had a lazy touch at times. He kept overrunning the ball a little bit.
I think he does that quite a bit. And one thing I would say, he always seems to play in front of players rather than trying to get in behind. I mean, I know that's his style, but I just felt as though when he did have the ball, there were always players pressing him, and he didn't get a chance to do much. There weren't many. Quite often what he tends to do, he tries to get his ball at his feet and plays these quick balls into the feet of Dom Solanke or a person that's ahead of him, and either the controls going to work or not. But he never got the ball back. I thought it was pretty shaky. What I'm going to do is just quickly switch it up. Rich, I'm going to bring in Mark. So I'll say goodbye to you for now. Thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it, mate. And Mark Jackson is coming in, who's been on the YouTube channel before. Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Hi, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Before we get on to talking about the horror show tonight, how is your running going, mate? Because you're doing a lot of running.
Yeah, I'm down into double figures now left, so I've only got just over 90 miles left now.
Superb.
So just about on target. It's going to be. Yeah, I wanted to not run over Christmas, but I think I'm going to have to now. So
yeah,
just means I can eat more, I suppose.
Yeah, so that's 1,000 miles you're doing in the calendar year for the Dorset Children's Foundation. And by the way, if you want to donate, if you go to afcbpodcast.com/Mark, he's been out all hours of the day getting this done, and he's closing on in, and that will redirect you to a Just Giving page where you can donate. And it'd be amazing. I mean, he has reached a target, but we want to raise more if we can for Dorset Children's Foundation. That is an absolute superb charity. Now, what wasn't superb tonight, Mark, was what we saw at Dean Court. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much I can add to what has already been said. I mean, the thing that frustrates me watching us when we've got so many attacking players, and people mentioning King and Danjuma, who obviously weren't there tonight, but I'd love to see some like Brooks play through the middle. I think he's wasted out wide. I think when you've got the likes of Stanislas, whose delivery is better than Brooks's is. Obviously, Brooks can pick passes, but I think that's more useful through the middle. I think kind of like having a Ferrari and driving it 20 miles an hour in the slow lane. Personally, I just think it's a bit of a waste having him out wide. I'd much rather see him playing the number 10 role than Stanislas. Well, at least give it a go and see what happens. But even in the Premier League, when he was playing that role, I always thought he was much better through the middle than he was out wide.
Is that something you'd agree with, Kirk?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Brooks in the middle. The only thing
Reminds me of that Chelsea game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he done well. He done well in the Palace game as well, didn't he? It was his glory times. The thing is, I find with the three flair players that we've got, is I just get frustrated when they just don't play it simple enough. So you still had it today, 3-0 down, and Stanislas is still trying to play it through his legs, and he's trying to do it trickery. And I just want him to keep it simple sometimes and just do 1-2s round them, and like I said the other day, when it comes off and we're winning, and I think that's it with Brooks, isn't it? When it is coming off and he's taking players on, he grows in confidence. We have a lot of players that grow in confidence in match play. And when it's coming off for him, he's unplayable, and he's the best player in the league. When it's not coming off for him, he gets frustrated. I'm going to go early. We need something in January. If we're going to achieve even touch trying to get automatics, we need something in January. So playoffs at best.
And that could be, doubly the case if players go, which they might. Josh King, whether he'll go or not, we don't know. He's not played many minutes, but David Brooks, he's had a couple of good games. He might have some good games over this festive period, and he's going to be a target for many Premier League clubs. So we'll have to replace them. Plus, we'll also have to add to them, I suppose, Kirk. So yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. Should we end on a positive by talking about our second goal, the one that pulled it back to 3-2? Brilliant to see Jaden Anthony on the pitch, and Mark, it was a fantastically well-crafted goal, and it's finally nice to see Sam Surridge score a league goal, isn't it?
I mean, it's nice to see him get a chance as well. He's not had many minutes. When he has had minutes, it's only been sort of 5 here and there. It's not been, and even in the City game earlier on in the season, he showed against a very good City side, really, that he was good enough. I think, again, you touched on it with Brooks earlier, but what Danjuma does and what Anthony did when he came on is take players on. And if you take players on, you just create that space that you just don't get when clubs, and it's probably why we've been better away from home personally, I think, is because teams will sit there at home. So you need to take the game to them. If you just play it in front of them, it's much easier to defend, and that's the way they've set up to play. So it's sort of predictable. Whereas if you take players on like Anthony did, and you're going to create chances especially when you've got Surridge and Solanke in the middle. You're going to create chances in this league, definitely.
And you're always going to get hunger with the youth. They're always going to be fresh. They're going to be wanting to show what they're all about. They're going to be a little bit more brave than someone who's, like Brooks, who knows that some clubs are looking at him, and he knows that he has to perform week in, week out if he want to get that big move. Players like Anthony, there's no expectation there. He can just go out there with the freedom and try and just deliver the skills that he has in the locker. Surridge, I would say, is probably our most natural finisher at the club. I didn't pin my hopes on Surridge achieving a high level of goals this season, and I'm not pinning my hopes on him now, but he will, and I think I said it at the start of the season, he will add goals for us, and it was good to see him get on the score sheet tonight. I think he started against Coventry, didn't he?
Yeah.
If I remember. And, I don't think he's the finished article, far from it. But if you can get him in positions, he has got that instinct.
Brilliant. Well, we're going to say goodbye at this point in time. It's been a pleasure, guys. Mark, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Steve, as ever, thank you, buddy.
Try and cheer up a little bit.
Good, man. And Kirk, thanks very much for coming on.
Hopefully that wasn't too bad for you, Sam.
No, it wasn't too bad. We kept it on an hour or two, so it's all good. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Sam.
So, yeah, there you go. That was what happened tonight. Preston, the second best away record in the league. It's possibly going to be the best away record in the league. And Bournemouth, well, we did have the second best home record. And after their 4-1 win at Vicarage, 4-1 loss at Vicarage Road, it was always going to be a tight match and more close than what people would have thought. They were smarting from their loss. And We should have been really after our draw at Rotherham, but we weren't. They had the technical prowess. They had the team gelling. They worked hard for each other. They communicated well, and they did the basics right. Bournemouth, we didn't. That's Alex Neil, who's done 2 in a row in the Championship over us, once with Norwich and now with Preston. And that's the second 3-2 as well. The 3-2 defeat in the Cup back in, 2016, and now in the league. We've got Barnsley, though. That's on Friday, and it's live on Sky Sports. So once again, we're going to be here with the free-for-all. Thank you to everyone that's taken part tonight. Really appreciate it. And remember to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up as well. Despite our loss, it would be nice if you could at least do that, because then someone gets something out of it. Anyway, up the cherries, and we'll see you soon. Take care.